I could probably spend a few minutes peeling apart more layers to the kind of character backstories that we got for Marcel and Fallen last episode. However, I am currently far more interested to see how the Red Barbarian woman is going to react to seeing Marcel injured, because that is probably going to very heavily influence my opinion of this character. So, I think we're just going to jump more or less right into things. Go ahead and starting this episode of Dungeon Meshi in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and we are starting things right off with the OP, not super surprising. Um, Real quick, I guess, while we're in the OP, remember to like, comment, subscribe, watch the videos all the way to the end if you can. Uh, Last I checked the metrics and analytics for the last Dungeon Meshi video, the viewer retention was actually really good. So thanks for that. And just, yeah, keep doing what you can do to make those metrics good for me, because I appreciate it. So yeah. What else? Oh, I guess one thing that I kind of noticed in rewatching the episode that I didn't really fully, assuming that I interpreted this correctly, that I didn't really notice in my initial watch. When we first do that flashback to the kind of school days, Marcel is like fiddling with something when we first see her. And then later, and then throughout the flashback, we see her with this like, not necessarily a twig or stick, but like a very rudimentary wooden object that once she ends up going to the dungeon and accidentally aggroing the slimes from the water, she then uses it like she kind of postures with it as if it's a staff. And I think what we were seeing is her crafting and creating and kind of weaving into existence what we see her now using in the present as her staff. So that's pretty cool. Namari, okay. She's quite cordial right off the rip. Uh I can never remember who's who. Oh, she's pissed. And you don't seem to mind that she's like, yeah, dying right now. What do you care? Yeah, that's yeah, that's about what we expected. I don't like you. I hope you get immediately attacked. Well, what he's saying is like practical. What the fuck? Well, I was about to comment on how much of an asshole he was being, despite the fact that what he was saying technically made sense. Wow. Okay, I'm glad she's pissed. You're always using me as a shield? Okay, the money can't be worth it, right? Come on, Namari. The other two are having to hold her back. Oh. Huh. This guy. I mean, take the deal you can. Yeah, take the deal you can get. Oh, did we not have him heal her first? It's been a week. She is she's something. Yes, kind of. I would be more inclined to see this as care if she hadn't seemed so callous as we came across as the two parties met and she saw Marcial's condition. I feel like what you can't afford is to disregard the opinions of experienced adventurers when your life might be in danger, you twat. I don't like this guy. Oh, rip. Goodbye. Yeah. It's a what? Oh, she's hanging in there all right. I apologize. Oh, good education. Ah? What? I don't know. Up he goes. Ow. Can't wait to get the explanation for all of this that just happened. Probably not. Why didn't we see his face? Wow, these two really seem to care for the twins in a way that they definitely don't care for Namari. Yeah, this is kind of what I was expecting. uh. And now I can't let go. Can we deal with the swelling soon? I was gonna say it's like a banana. What does this have to do with the swelling? What? How? You're definitely imagining it. Thank you, Chilchuck. Don't feed the injured woman strange food items. Tell me it's taro root. Stew it, mash it. Oh, what is it? Fry it, mash it, stick it in a stew. Is that the meme? Something like that. Good guy, Laos. Yeah, yeah, Pops. Enough with the formalities. Just do the thing. Does that do anything for her magic, though? Because she was not only injured, she was also depleted of her magic after fighting with the Undyne. What? Oh, there's just a little bit of tension between these two. Jesus. It's not, though. Are you the leader? He says to Senshi. He's the most uninvolved in all this. She poured boiling water into the lake. Yep. Tip. Okay. Also, I was gonna say it before, but I feel like we're getting a bit of racism this episode. What? Yeah, we can't wait that long. I mean, you're just doing research. Hey, if they're leaving, Namari, you've already done your job. Oh, what? Oh, she is still out of magic. Oh. Not now, Senshi. Ooh. Seriously? Rude much? Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Chilchuck's planning to fight. Oh, called out. You have the... Why? She's some adventurer who's so great that she's known for defeating many dragons. I don't like this. uh, I'm sorry, what? Where's here? Yeah. What is this? What is this random distinction that Thousand Senshi are drawing? That seems like an extreme measure. Ha, ha, ha. Shabby pot. Senshi takes offense. What? It can do what? And he has a cooking pot made of it. Oh my word. This took a bit of a wild turn. Aren't y'all leaving? Yeah. Oh. Is his hand broken? Or is it just like stunned and numb from the impact? Like when you swing a baseball bat and hit it really hard. Okay. She's doing something. I like this music. All right, let's see what you can do. That looked easier than I expected it to, honestly. Oh, but now they have to keep it contained as they walk their way back. Wow. So the initial capture was not actually the hard part. Ow. Well, I feel like Senchi's fine. We're well aware that he's good with heat from when he just casually stuck his thumb into the oil that one time in episode 2 to see what the temperature was like. Salt. Salt is very good for helping you maintain your waters. What? What are we doing? Oh, salt and pepper. Okay, salt, salt. Like I said. Well, one of the things that it said you could do with it was stew it, right? The tentacle stuff earlier. Ah, she likes it. Where did the color come from? uh it does look good. It's like arguably one of the most visually appealing things that we've seen them make in the dungeon. Her staff is perked up. Yep. That is not how it looked previously, by the way. Oh, that's a really cool visual touch. The way that she perceived the dish was drastically different from before versus after actually tasting it. They ate it all. There's only a little bit left. Yeah, she fulfilled her escort mission. He did put down a full bowl. I wouldn't want to be accepted as one of them. I would just not want to travel with them anymore. Dude literally grabbed her and put her in front of the Undyne's attack so that she could get shot in the head. Oh, here we go. That okay, and the samurai is Shuro. Huh? Eh. I'm still not sold on her. She's she's okay, but I'm still not sold on her. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know if I have a ton to say about that episode. We met Namari, who is one of the former traveling companions of Laos's party. Got to see a little bit of her and this new group that she's been traveling with, which arguably just gives us a bit more insight into kind of the life of adventurers. I think one of the most interesting things, actually, which I just recalled as I was trying to go back through the episode, um, the way that the old man described the curse on the dungeon on the this castle or whatever, the enchantment that from his perspective at least kind of prevents you from dying in a sense because it binds your soul to your corpse no matter how damaged it gets, so that like you can only be resurrected, you can only be healed to the point that you can like live again basically. And yeah, your soul can't like it can't leave. You're not allowed to die basically. You're just kind of you're trapped there until either something happens or nothing happens, I guess. And I think that that is I think that that is interesting, specifically because we just got in the last episode some information about like some kind of exposition about the way that Marcel, as sort of as an advanced magic practitioner who kind of focused her studies in a sense on things that she thought would be beneficial to her learning how to create her own dungeon, a safe dungeon. She viewed this dungeon as being like exceptionally well constructed, right? And so I think that just like I just think that the perspective we got on the dungeon from Marcel last episode, with the way that she viewed it as like almost like scientifically, like this is an example of what I want to do. Like I want to craft something modeled after this, more or less. I think that that then makes learning pieces of lore like what we learned from the old man this episode. I just think it kind of it it just adds a bit of depth to it. It just makes it a bit more interesting. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of how I felt when we were getting that information. Is just that like the added the added perspective that we got last episode makes new pieces of information like this just more interesting. I don't know. But then other than that, there was the cool visual thing that I liked where Namari that I mentioned it as it happened, right? The way that Namari viewed the food before and after trying it, I thought that that was really cool. Um, and this wasn't even one of the crazy dishes, right? Like I said that this kind of looked like one of the more appealing dishes that we've seen them make in the dungeon thus far, and so I'd kind of like to see Namari's reaction to some of the more wild things that they've eaten. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like I necessarily have too much to say about the episode though. And then like unless I'm misremembering as I'm trying to go through all of the things that just happened in my head. I'm pretty sure the old man at the end there like told her that she could go back to adventuring with them and it would be fine. But then she was like, "No, I want to gain a better rapport and camaraderie with you guys now since I agreed to travel with you guys." And so that's a little interesting to me just because like I think I probably would have expected that we were going to see some kind of turn of events and circumstances that led to the old members of the party rejoining our adventuring party with Laos. So to see her originally be like, no, that's not happening, then to see an opportunity present itself for her to do so, and for the situation to still be like, oh no, I'm actually going to stick with my previous decision, and I'm going to continue traveling with y'all. Um, that was a little unexpected. So that was kind of nice to see. I'm not saying it's nice to see just because I'm not super sold on liking her as a character just yet. um, yes, I'm going to continue to hold a grudge because she didn't seem super concerned with Marcial's health. I'm going to continue to hold that grudge for the time being. So I'm not just saying it for petty reasons. I think it's nice to see just because it was a bit unexpected. So that was cool. The information about Shuro apparently being in love with Fallen struck me a little bit because I I don't really understand why he left, and if that's the case. Like when we saw the flashback last episode where Namari and Shuro left the party, what Namari stated was like we need to live too. We need to, we need to make a living. And so I just kind of assumed it was, financial motivations for both of them. But now it seems to be the case that yes, it was financial motivation for Namari, but Shuro, really I don't really know if he supposedly like was madly in love with Fallen, as we were kind of just suggested, then I don't see why he wouldn't have continued to stick with Laos's party unless he thought that he could better attempt a rescue mission either on his own or with some other party, but like that would involve him probably being the person to commission the other party, right? And unless Namari was only speaking for herself, which it didn't seem like she was in the flashback, it seemed like she was kind of speaking for both of them. Um, like I would assume that Shuro doesn't have the funds to commission and sponsor an adventuring party to attempt to rescue on Fallen. So yeah, I guess I would imagine either next episode or the episode after that will be finding out what his deal was for why he left, most likely. So that will be curious to see. I am a little disappointed as we're talking about character motivations and whatnot. I'm a little disappointed that we kind of scratched the on Chilchuck's decision to stay with the party, but didn't really like we talked about it in the sense that we kind of like touched on it, but I don't feel like we really got like any kind of significant explanation or reasons as to like why he actually made that decision. It felt kind of brushed off to me, and the reason that I'm annoyed by that is just because back in episode, what was it, episode 6? I think it was episode 6 with the mimic. I think it was that episode where I commented I spent a few minutes post episode talking about how, Chilchuck seems to be trying to like put up this front of doing what he's doing as a matter of like professional pride, but it seems pretty clear to me that that's like a false pretense and that he's actually doing this because he cares about the people that he's adventuring with. And like Marcel kind of called him on it here. He's like, she was like, wait, you're telling me that you didn't do this for your friends and for friendship? And he kind of teased her and was suggesting seemingly that no, that's not why he did this. He just did this out of, again, some sort of professional pride. But I don't know. I would have liked to have seen, I guess, a little bit of pushback on that and trying to confront like, is that really why you did this? Because it just, again, just to me, from what I have seen of these characters, that explanation just doesn't really seem to hold up, in my opinion. So I don't know. I guess I just have some. I guess I just have some conflicting feelings on different things from this episode. But I mean, it was fine. It wasn't like a bad episode. And I also I think this is another episode where the creatures, the monsters, didn't necessarily grab me as much as some of the other ones do. Like the second half of the episode was like was just kind of reconfronting the Undine. But the first half of the episode was these like tentacles that look like brambles and vines, and they peel into some kind of banana-like substance. And I didn't find them to be. I just didn't find that to be a super interesting monster encounter personally. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely one of the weaker episodes for me, but again, it's not like oh my god, this is terrible. If this is the direction the show's going, I'm gonna stop watching it. Not like that or anything, of course, but it's again, it should be pretty obvious that I've been really liking this show so far. And so when I have a weak, when there's an episode that I consider to be a fairly weak episode, it's still, that doesn't immediately mean that I think it's terrible. And it's also the case that like it's weaker, by comparison. It's relative, right? And so if relatively speaking, the show's like up here, then a weaker episode, if it's still here, that could still potentially be like on par or above like average, your average expectations for, run of the mill shows. So yeah. I think I'm getting a little rambly, so let's go ahead and call things there. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out other videos on the channel if you are so inclined to do so. And until I see you in the next one, take care. Bye-bye.